Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Believe in best.
Tonight on Our News, the National Security Minister personally looking into the Jerome Avenue murders. The F&M deputy says the party council has taken Dr. Hubert Minnis at his word ahead of the next convention. The Office of the Prime Minister slams political mischief-making, and COVID hospitalizations remain high. Welcome to Our News and thanks for joining us. I'm Christina Dragovich. Topping news tonight, the Ministry of Health confirming 14 more COVID-19 deaths between October 2nd and October 8th. 9 of those deaths were reported on New Providence, 2 on Long Island, 2 on Inagua, and 1 on Grand Bahama. The youngest victim in that group is a 30-year-old New Providence man, while the eldest is a 92-year-old woman on Long Island. The latest deaths bring the official COVID death toll to 622. However, 53 deaths are under investigation. Health officials also confirming 64 more COVID cases on Thursday and 47 new cases on Wednesday. 127 cases are currently in hospital. Well, amid a 61% increase in murders, National Security Minister Wayne Munro says the focus really shouldn't be on counting murder by murder, but getting to the root of the problem. This as he revealed he's personally looking into the Jerome Avenue shooting that left 6 men dead 6 months ago.
Counting murders year to year doesn't make sense.
With murders up 61% compared to the same period last year, National Security Minister Wayne Munro says there's a deeper issue than just counting how many murders occur from year to year.
So you have to count it, but in terms of talking about how you attack it to get it to go down, that is where doing it year after year after year isn't maybe so productive, because the 19-year-old criminal today was the product of 19 years of socialization. The 21-year-old criminal today was the product of 21 years of socialization.
Munro added while police must do their job and prevent crime from happening, intervention must occur at a social level by addressing the issues that lead people to commit crimes. Though overall crime is down by 2%, crimes against the person are up 25%.
Governments are responsible to do the best they can to address and to provide a safe community, a sense of safety.
On Wednesday, Police Commissioner Paul Rowe revealed that some suspects in the Jerome Avenue shooting that left 6 men dead and a woman and toddler in hospital have since fled town, and 1 has died. Munro says he still has questions surrounding that case.
There were allegations that the culprits might have been police officers. That was strongly advanced. That issue would be caught up in who the suspects are, who fled town, and the one who died. So that would be a matter of what information the police have and their evidence.
Munro says he's also going to look into the treatment of one of the victims, Renardo Crack Teeth Bastien, and complains that he may have been denied medical treatment immediately after the incident.
That is a matter as to how the state related to him when he was still alive. Regardless of what you may think of an individual, they have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And in this country, they have a right where they're still alive and medical care is on the scene to medical treatment.
Munro says as the Member of Parliament for some of those families, he has a duty to look into the matter. For Our News, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Meanwhile, Free National Movement former deputy leader Peter Turnquest telling the Nassau Guardian the party expects former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis to keep his word by not seeking re-election as F&M leader at the party's convention next month. Turnquest says Minnis has indicated to the party's council that he will not offer as a candidate for leader at the upcoming convention. He says based on that, any further discussion of his position would only invite unhelpful speculation. Turnquest, who is asked to give his views on what type of leader the F&M needs, says the party needs a more inclusive leader who's open to consultation and advice from others and is willing to embrace all of the various segments of the party. He added the F&M needs to rebuild. And the Office of the Prime Minister defending the re-engagement of 2 senior public officers while slamming political mischief-making caused by a leaked memo. Officials say the public officers' expertise and long years of experience are invaluable in guiding the Davis administration through the systemic changes it has promised Bahamians. OPM says, along with their salaries, they are being paid the pensions which are due to them for their long years of previous service. The pensions are legally and rightfully due to them for this past service. The statement continues, this is not a new policy despite their public utterances. The F&M administration under Hubert Minnis implemented the same policy, only with characteristic favoritism and complete indifference to ordinary Bahamians. Opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis has called the policy fiscally imprudent. Well, though new COVID-19 cases have decreased in recent weeks, Doctors Hospital Chief Financial Officer Dennis DeVoe says hospitalizations remain high at the private healthcare facility. DeVoe gave an analysis of the COVID-19 situation at the hospital during the Abaco Business Outlook. Jasmine Brown reports.
Right now, COVID is at its peak level of surge. If we measure certainly the number of people that are in hospital.
DeVoe says compared to the COVID-19 situation a year ago, hospitalizations have shot up. In August, Dr. Charles Digges, CEO of Doctors Hospital, admitted that things had gotten so bad that medical staff were having to decide which patients were put on a ventilator. Health officials at Princess Margaret Hospital similarly reported that the facility was on the brink of collapse due to the high volume of COVID patients.
Our census right now is roughly 61 patients on average. If we look at what's happened over the last 45 days, if I were to just go back to say September, October of last year, our census, may have been 40 patients per day. And that change is certainly the uptick in COVID-19 infections.
DeVoe said Doctors Hospital has taken on a number of public patients since the start of the pandemic and continues to support the gaps in the public delivery system.
Even today, continue to care for 21 public patients. Since we started with public accommodation in March of 2020, we have provided, over 4,000 patient days, cared for, approaching 400 individual Bahamians who had on average a length of stay of in excess of 8 days.
As of Thursday, 127 patients were in hospital. 33 of them were at Doctors Hospital, which is under the 59 patients it had in early September, but far more than the numbers it saw earlier in the year. DeVoe said Doctors Hospital has conducted just under 700,000 COVID tests and will likely zero in on 1 million tests fairly soon. Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Well, the National Security Minister suggesting Bahamians should get more into the practice of recording their interactions with police officers. Wayne Monroe says while police officers are now wearing body cams, citizens have the right to collect their own proof as a matter of transparency when they feel they have been wronged.
It's just very simple. Policemen who are carrying out their jobs correctly and honestly have nothing to fear from the public recording what they do. For myself, in this building I came in, if you come upstairs, you can't bring your phone. Some of it has to do with the fear of people recording meetings. My position is you should only fear a recording of a meeting if you want to lie about what was said in the meeting afterwards. And so the surest protection for the public, for the police, is for there to be a recording of what has happened.
Monroe referenced a recent incident where a man in custody alleged that his dog was shot by police during the altercation. Monroe encouraged people to install their own recording devices at home as well.
We have body cameras now that the police are supposed to activate while on duty. The body camera protects the public in that it records the police's interaction with them. It protects the police officer who isn't doing anything wrong, because if you lie on him, his body camera will show what actually happened. I also advise people in my constituency to install CCTV camera system. I'll advise the public that they should have the data from that recorded offline, so that if you do have someone who misbehaves and comes and takes your DVR, you still have evidence of what happened.
Partly cloudy skies outside our studios tonight. Greg Thompson has the latest in the Weather Center.
Thanks, Christine, and welcome everybody for your first look at weather on this TGIF. Beautiful evening outside. Temperatures very comfortable in the low 80s, 82 outside our studios with a few clouds. We'll call it mild. You'll feel slight temperature in the mid 80s. And those winds, they're light and variable and will continue to fall off almost calm tonight. Satellite view, quiet around the islands. Some patchy clouds moving across our area with that light northeasterly winds. Some isolated showers, but conditions will continue to improve as the evening goes on. That's your first look at weather. Your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on our news, a cabinet minister calls for more women in leadership roles and a breast cancer survivor's new lease on life. Stay tuned.
Affordable, reliable internet connectivity is more crucial than ever. It's how we work, play, and connect to the people we love. That's why Cable Bahamas Group of Companies is the leader in enabling connective lifestyles and experiences. So we've created a campaign called Connecting People Who Care.
Here's how it works, exactly how it sounds. We've chosen 3 nonprofits who utilize Cable Bahamas services: the Bahamas Red Cross, Hands for Hunger, and Bahamas Harvest Church. Each of these groups has chosen a hero within their organization. The organization and hero to receive the most votes will be eligible for 6 months of free services, and our hero will be eligible for $5,000 in cash and prizes.
For more information or to vote for the person or organization you love, visit rev.bs/Connecting People Who Care.
Our winner will be announced live on Facebook during the week of Thanksgiving.
More women are needed in leadership roles, according to Minister of State for the Public Service, Pia Glover-Roll. While speaking to a funding event put on by equity crowdfunding platform Arawak X, Roll stressed the importance of women being able to make decisions that impact other women in business.
Some may ask, why does it matter if women become political leaders, or elected policymakers, or civil society activists, or business owners? Why does the world need more women involved in all aspects of the political process? Well, simply, women's political participation results in tangible gains for democracy, including greater responsiveness to citizens' needs. It's in our innate ability.
Glover-Roll is one of 7 women currently sitting in the House of Assembly. She's also one of 5 women in the Davis cabinet. She says her role in politics and at the decision-making table is one she takes very seriously.
Our participation in politics helps to advance gender equality, affects the range of policy issues that get considered, and of course the type of solutions that we propose. But I commit, once again, that my participation in politics will positively affect the advancement of females in business and enterprise.
In other news, the Pan American Health Organization cannot say when the COVID-19 pandemic is expected to end due to the fluidity of possible scenarios over the near to short term, according to PAHO Director Dr. Carissa Etienne.
PAHO at this time cannot predict that this pandemic will come to an end in 2022 or even 2023. All of this depends on the vaccination coverage that we are able to attain and maintain.
Those changing factors also include how communities and countries adhere to public and social health measures. Dr. Etienne made a presentation on the prolonged health crisis and its impact on health, the economy, and social development in a joint statement with the Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean, or ECLAC.
Given the possibility of infection with SARS-CoV-2 and virus transmission, even when vaccinated, and in the context of evolving variants, the short-term objective remains the reduction of hospitalizations and deaths.
This as PAHO and ECLAC are calling for the acceleration of vaccination against COVID-19 with more widespread vaccination campaigns and dispelling misinformation. Nearly 24 countries in the region are expected to have 40% or more of their populations fully vaccinated against COVID-19 by December 2021. But based on October 8th vaccine stats, the Bahamas isn't expected to be one of them. Well, a breast cancer survivor who found a new lease on life is insisting the Big C is not an automatic death sentence. Jasmine Brown has her inspiring story.
Take one look at Erin's store, and it's hard to believe that just 3 years ago she was diagnosed with breast cancer.
In late 2017, after my routine mammogram, they discovered a lump in my right breast, and they suggested I do a ultrasound with a biopsy. Now, every year for the past 20 years, every year I get my mammogram done. But in 2017, I had delayed it. But I still got it done at the end of the year, but not the routine at the beginning of the year. So I went and I had the ultrasound with the biopsy, and it came back positive.
Storr says the diagnosis came as a shock, but it did not deter her. Storr, who is a mom and an adult son and the administrator for the Cancer Society of the Bahamas, says her diagnosis also brought her family together. She says she has also found strength through her faith in God. Now, 2 years cancer-free, she says treatment was not quick and easy.
I had a lumpectomy done in 2018, and it was good. It was a good surgery, so they said that you would have to take chemotherapy and radiation to make sure that whatever underlining there may be could be eradicated. I went through 4 what they call the red devil or the red Kool-Aid chemotherapy, which took off all my hair, my eyelashes, my eyebrows, everything.
Storr says she also endured 35 rounds of radiation, and through it all, she has remained as upbeat as possible. She is encouraging others to get their mammograms.
A lot of women delay their testing because they're too busy, or I'll do it next week, and just procrastinating. And you know, the saying goes, procrastination is the thief of time. I had procrastinated. So I encourage all women, get your mammogram done. If you don't get it done in October, whatever month that you want to do it, start there, and every year, get it.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Thanks, Jasmine. When Our News returns, the BFSU president slams RBC's position on interest rates, and the latest from Buddy Hield. The details when Our News returns.
Affordable, reliable internet connectivity is more crucial than ever. It's how we work, play, and connect to the people we love. That's why Cable Bahamas Group of Companies is the leader in enabling connective lifestyles and experiences. So we've created a campaign called Connecting People Who Care.
Here's how it works, exactly how it sounds. We've chosen 3 nonprofits who utilize Cable Bahamas services: the Bahamas Red Cross, Hands for Hunger, and Bahamas Harvest Church. Each of these groups has chosen a hero within their organization. The organization and hero to receive the most votes will be eligible for 6 months of free services, and our hero will be eligible for $5,000 in cash and prizes.
For more information or to vote for the person or organization you love, visit rev.bs/Connecting People Who Care.
Our winner will be announced live on Facebook during the week of Thanksgiving.
This is Our News. Welcome back. Financial Services Union President Teresa Mortenmore is calling on RBC employees to get unionized. It comes after the bank announced that there will be no interest rates on savings accounts and term deposits until further notice. Mortenmore suggested it's a troubling sign.
I say it over and repeatedly. We have big investors that come into our country, and when they are finished with us, it's sad, because they don't even pay pension to the persons who cost them to get the funds they get. In this country, I've now said to Bahamians, we need to step it up. The government need to step it up. I think personally, if perhaps Royal Bank was in the government bank, they would have been gone.
RBC said in a statement that it changed its interest rates on savings accounts and term deposits to 0% until further notice, adding this is happening in a period of historically low interest rates. The statement continues, RBC implemented this change in response to local market and economic conditions that affect our business and our approach to the interest rates we offer clients.
It's all about the money. And so their latest notice clearly states, go to hell. We could care less about you. It's about the money. Could you imagine not paying? You are lending money. You're not lending it interest-free. But then you're holding on my money, and you don't want to pay me any interest? Really? Bahamians, let's step it up. Withdraw our money out of the Royal Bank and tell them goodbye.
Well, the new sports minister touring local sporting facilities today. Marcellus Hall has that and more.
Thanks again, Christina. Welcome to our sports, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. Well, there is a new guy in charge of sports these days. It is the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg. After touring Freeport's facilities, today taking an opportunity to check out the facilities here in New Providence. One of those he paid a visit to was the South Beach pools. He talked about the significance of getting those back on track.
Many young Bahamians out there who does not know how to swim, and we need to utilize this pool to teach them how to swim. We need to also address the Ministry of Education and try to make sure that they encompass swimming in their programs and utilize this pool, even if it only means the schools that is in the southern districts. But it should be utilized more and be of such of a benefit to the younger generation in this country.
Final set of NBA preseason games. How about the Sacramento Kings taking on the LA Lakers? Buddy Hield on the court for the visiting Sacramento Kings, and so far so good. Sacramento has looked really good so in the preseason. They're 4-0 now after finishing off the Lakers last night, 116-112. How about Buddy? Buddy's been playing extremely well. Coming off the bench in this one, he finishes up with 25 minutes played, shot 4 of 10 from the field, 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists in the ball game. As we mentioned, Sacramento now 4-0 in preseason play with the regular season set to begin early next week. On to some Thursday night football where the NFL kicking off yet another exciting week of play. How about Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up against the Philadelphia Eagles in this one? Early on, it was all Tampa Bay. They had a nice lead, but back come the Eagles. They made this thing interesting down the stretch, but it would be Tampa Bay continuing their winning ways. They go on to win by the final score of 28-22. On to some Major League Baseball now, where the postseason championship series are all set. Last night, the Dodgers joining the Braves in the National League as they took care of the Giants 2-1, ended up being the final as they advance in a 3-2 series win. They'll face the Braves, as you can see right there, for the National League Championship. Meanwhile, over in the American League, the Boston Red Sox and Houston Astros will meet up once again. Two teams, as a matter of fact, meeting this evening. We'll give you full details on that during the course of the weekend. Get you all caught up on everything that's going on as far as the postseason in Major League Baseball is concerned. But we do know there are just 4 teams left now on the road to the World Series. And there it is, your check on sports for you here on this Friday. Have a great weekend. See you back here on Monday. Until then, I'm Marcellus Hall. Back to you.
Thanks, Marcellus. Straight ahead, Greg is back with our weekend weather outlook, and a fun walk and run promises to bring good energy. Find out more after this.
Affordable, reliable internet connectivity is more crucial than ever. It's how we work, play, and connect to the people we love. That's why Cable Bahamas Group of Companies is the leader in enabling connective lifestyles and experiences. So we've created a campaign called Connecting People Who Care.
Here's how it works, exactly how it sounds. We've chosen 3 nonprofits who utilize Cable Bahamas services: the Bahamas Red Cross, Hands for Hunger, and Bahamas Harvest Church. Each of these groups has chosen a hero within their organization. The organization and hero to receive the most votes will be eligible for 6 months of free services, and our hero will be eligible for $5,000 in cash and prizes.
For more information or to vote for the person or organization you love, visit rev.bs/Connecting People Who Care.
Our winner will be announced live on Facebook during the week of Thanksgiving.
Welcome back to our news. A sunny weekend ahead. Greg is back in the Weather Center with the latest.
Thanks again, Christina. Welcome back, everybody, for your second look at weather. Nice conditions setting up for the weekend as a ridge of high pressure, very weak one, dominating our weather. We do have an upper level low that's spinning across Cuba that's enhancing some showers and thunderstorms across the islands. But that upper level low will continue to move out. And of course, beautiful weather expected. The tropics quiet. That area we were watching has merged with the boundary in the Atlantic. Nothing happening out there, a couple of tropical waves, no organization at this time, and that's the way we like it. Beaching and boating forecast. For all areas tonight through tomorrow, your winds will be variable at 5 to 10 knots, seas running 1 to 3 feet over the ocean. Tide is presently high, will be low at 11:18 tonight. Here's a look now at your national forecast. A look now at your extended forecast through Wednesday. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night and have a beautiful weekend. Christina?
Thanks, Greg. In 1 week, fitness enthusiasts will come together for a 3-day virtual fitness event. The Good Energy Fun Walk and Run will kick off on October 22nd with a 5K and 10K. Regina Smith is the organizer.
It'll be held on Friday, October 22nd to Sunday, October 24th. You can start your runs at 5 a.m. in the morning, and then you have until Sunday at 10 a.m. to complete the runs. So how it's working is we have 2 distances. We have the 5K, which is 3 miles, and then we have the 10K, which is 6.2 miles, and you can choose any distance that you like. You can walk it, you can run it. This is a family-oriented event, so the kids can get involved too. You can even take your fur babies out.
The event is open to adults, children, and even pets, and part proceeds will go to 2 very important causes, including Reach Bahamas. Smith assured that they will adhere to COVID-19 safety measures.
What we're asking people to do is you can do your run on Friday, right? And then you just use an app. It can be the Runtastic app, it can be the Nike Run Club app, it can be Strava, it can be Runkeeper, and you just finish the walk, finish the run, take a snapshot of it, and then just post it in our Facebook event, and then that's it.
Well, thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Christina Dragovich. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Have a beautiful evening, Bahamas.